Everybody, welcome to Tech Shops, and in this video I'll be having a look at a browser called Kiwi Browser. Now, why it's called Kiwi Browser I have no idea. So this is the first time I have come across the browser, and I thought I would have a look at the browser and see how it does on my Fire tablet. So I'm going to click install. We are on the overview page. Usually, or lately, I have already installed apps prior to starting the video, but in this case I haven't, so that explains why we are on the overview page. So we'll just wait for the app to install. While we're doing that, we might as well have a look at the description, if we can find it. Looks a bit hard to find. And it probably looks as though it's installed, so let us instead go to the app launcher and see what the app is called, because sometimes apps change their names prior and after installation. Things inconsistent. Okay. So it is called Kiwi Browser prior and after installation, but again, it would be nice if it was probably a different name as opposed to Kiwi. Kiwi is a bit unusual, but again, that is the name the developer decided to name the app. The name after installation is fairly sensible. It's called Kiwi Browser. But that is that. Okay, so we are going to do this browser video like we have done latest browser videos in a different format. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at the browser settings, then we're going to do the shortcuts, then we're going to do our first search. Whereas before, we used to do it the other way around. So, what is that? Okay. So it tells you the amount of tabs you have open, which is fairly helpful. You can bookmark pages, which is again ideal. But I haven't really seen. Oh yes, there is a new tab icon in the that you can access anywhere in the browser. So it's not like DuckDuckGo where you had to access a browser menu just to perform simple actions such as creating a new tab. There is a new incognito tab as well as another new tab icon when you click on the more options menu, which is very good. And again, it's not like the DuckDuckGo browser. An incognito tab, by the way, keeps your browsing sessions private, and as a result they leave no trace in your browser history, unlike a new tab. So a new tab will leave its traces, but an incognito tab won't. So you got the share option there. Usually the share icon would be a bit further up than this Kiwi browser, but nevertheless you can still share your browsing session, or you can share a website. There is a finding page which is fairly good. Add to home screen if you want to use it as a shortcut. Desktop site. I'm not too sure what that desktop site is, but it's common in browsers. I think it sort of requests more from the site, or some sites have a mobile view for mobile devices, such as my Fire tablet or tablets and phones in general. So I'm wondering whether it will give you more of a computer view of a website as opposed to what it would view on your mobile. I'm not too sure. You got hide annoying ads. That is quite interesting. I haven't really seen that on a browser except for the Kiwi browser, although the Brave browser often has an ad shield, so you can translate pages. Night mode. This is another thing I have seen in another browser. Night mode, just for your information, it filters different colors, so when you go to bed after, doing research or being on your tablet, you're not going to stay awake. Now, my Fire tablet does have a night mode setting, but this browser also has the option should your device, not have that setting. So that is fairly good. Translate pages. Clearing data, you can clear the data if you have noticed a redundancy in your device's performance. So that is that. So all those options I have just explained, we haven't even been in the settings yet, so clearly this browser has a lot to offer. We have your search engine at the top, and again, a search engine, by the way, basically incorporates what you have done, what you have typed in into the address bar or the edit box provided by the engine, and then it brings you the relevant information. So the fact that it's at the top, A, means it's easy to reach, and B, search engine is fairly important. We're just going to have a look at the choices. Quantlight, Quant. I haven't really heard of those search engines before.
Google.com, English only. 505, Google, Google.com, auto detect language.
Hang on a bit. It is a bit limited in its browser options. You would have expected to see Bing, Yahoo, AOL, or other engines of this nature, because they are more popular than the Quant and Quantlight search engines. But what is that? Passwords, autofill, notification, homepage. That is basically the page that you see when you open the browser. Let's have a look in the accessibility section. Text scaling. Perhaps that's to do with how you read the text, but being a screen reader user, I'm not really sure what that's all about. You get simplified view. So simplified view for web pages sort of clears out all the junk. Grayscale. Enable external applications. I haven't really seen that before. Edge swipe, swipe up. Simplified view for open tabs. That's automatically ticked. So whether that had become ticked when I clicked on the simplified view for web browsing, I'm not too sure, but if it did, that's fairly good. Let us head out the settings. I think we've had enough looking at the settings, and let's begin with our first search. Now next, what we do in this video is we test the keyboard shortcuts, and again, if you are a screen reader user such as myself, then you would usually depend on keyboard shortcuts throughout your device usage. First of all, we usually test the address bar. The address bar is where you usually type in what you want to search for, but you can type in a website address or a website ID, and the Alt plus D will take you to the address bar. So we're going to try that now. And that works. And as you can probably see, it brought up the keyboard straight away, not like Microsoft Edge. And we're going to bring up the new tab using Control plus T.
Add new tile button.
It's brought up new tile
HTTPS
instead of a new
/
tab.
Add new tile. New tab.
Hang on a minute, let me try that again.
Button. Add new tile.
So it doesn't look as though that there is a shortcut for the new tab,
HTTPS.
but instead the Kiwi browser has replaced your traditional new tab command with a command of its own. So that makes things a bit confusing. Well, this new tab has come in, this new tile has got in the way of things a little bit. Just gonna click it, get it out the way and done with. And there we are, we're gonna enter our first search. We're going to look up another aircraft, the MD-80. And when I was typing it kept up with the screen reader in fairly real time, so if you are a screen reader user who depend on the screen reader while typing, then you're not going to be bombarded with search suggestions or be left in the dark an awful lot. This search results loaded fairly quickly, which is quite good. Being a Google search engine, you'll be presented with a load of images first, but again, it is not the browser's fault, it's a search engine thing. We're going to click on Wikipedia. Oh, hang on a bit. The screen seems to keep loading all the time when I am navigating backwards. So whether it's the Bluetooth keyboard working with the browser app, or I'm not too sure, but if you do use a Bluetooth keyboard, just be mindful about that. Okay. So reading web pages is fairly easy. I'm gonna do my read all command, which is provided by the voice view.
This series can seat from 130 to 172 passengers depending on variant and seating configuration.
And as you can hear, it is reading web pages fairly well.
With 2 rear-mounted engines on takeoff.
And that's probably due to the simplified view, which is fairly good. Okay, well, let us conclude this video. So the Kiwi browser, despite its unusual name, does actually have a lot to offer. The search engine, you do have a search engine choice, which is, again, may seem fairly small, but it's not like the DuckDuckGo browser which I had reviewed, which had no search engine preferences at all. And the search engine preferences are at the top of this browser settings. So that is number one. It has the night mode option on it, so if you do research before you go to bed for whatever reason, then you are rested assured that you shouldn't be kept up with the energy emitted from the colours of your device's display. And the address bar keyboard shortcut works. I'm not too sure about the new tile icon, or whether it had appeared each time we opened a new tab. I'm not too sure, but again, I'll recommend it to everyone, including screen reader users. Okay, well, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more videos to come. I'll see you soon.